a stay-at-home dad, watching Disney movies he never had. His daughter digs through all the VHS, crushing the classics in a princess dress. Informed like Scuttle, Kurt's got your ticket, making it real like Jiminy Cricket. Most are off the Captain Hook, but if the Tweedledum, he'll be taking more shots than Bambi's mom. Leaves him raised like Simba, or cracked like the beach dishes. He'll show you a whole new world, you won't need 3 wishes. Stay at home, Disney Dad.
Here's the Wilderness Road, and I adore how Walt Disney himself does an intro to all of these tapes. He thought these were a big deal, and I'm guessing they were. We start the third and final week of the August of Boone. Oh, Boone and his kid are riding and singing, and suddenly a stagecoach being chased by Native Americans comes speeding their way. They make a circle and they fire their guns at the Native Americans. It scares them off. We meet this couple who were being chased, some weird guy and his blonde wife. They were traveling alone through, quote, Native American territory. Mr. Something, Chauncey and Maybelle Chauncey. These two, they're newlyweds. They wanted to catch up to the Boone party and make it with them to Kentucky. Boone says to the young bride, quote, I would have said no to your husband, but I can never say no to someone as pretty as you, end quote. Get it, Boone? Jesus. Dude. Then Boone notices his wife Rebecca standing right beside him, like, duh! And he backpedals and says to his wife, well, I mean, she's almost as pretty as you. Dude. Also, the kid's name is Israel, like Daniel and Rebecca's son, just tossing that out there. Boone is telling everyone about Kentucky and how magical it is. Mom notices some drama with the newlyweds. She says, do you see what I see? Daniel says, depends where you're looking. The husband is sleeping under the wagon, and his wife sleeps in the wagon. She goes, you never slept outside when we was newlyweds. And he goes, yeah, because we was newlyweds. And Rebecca says, look, she cries every time he comes near her. And Boone just wants to go to bed. And he goes, well, in the morning, I'll tell him not to go near her. This guy kicks ass. This guy is my new hero for all the wrong reasons. Rebecca makes Boone go talk to the husband. He's like, all right. He goes to the dude. He goes, I know you have women problems because every man's problem is a woman. Ugh. And then he sends Clancy's his name back in the stagecoach to make up with his wife, and they immediately start fighting again. We find out Clancy's not actually her husband. They're not actually married. Her folks didn't approve, so they ran away together. They asked Boone to help them get married, and now Boone is like, sure, but tonight sleep your unmarried under that wagon, boy. It's the next day and there's a hall and a dance, and Boone whipped up a pretty impressive wilderness shotgun wedding out of nothing, and now he's a priest and he's marrying them. What about Kentucky, bro? He asks if they know what marriage is, and he says, quote, it's more than hugging under the moonlight and making love. Bullshit, Daniel Boone. It's really not. He marries them, and now it's time for their first dance, and it's like an old-timey like Soul Train where they go down the line. The band is a banjo and a mouth harp. There's one kid here. He has no idea he's on a TV set. This is someone's kid who can't act, and he's staring off the set as he monotones his lines. Just fantastic. They break up the wedding, and they bust Clancy's and they're like, you don't have to sleep under the wagon tonight, eh? And all the men laugh like, yeah, Clancy, you go destroy that girl's Hilarious. As soon as the newlyweds leave, like the second they exit the church, Boone is a drunk jerk, and he gets everyone to run outside and circle the newlyweds' wagon. They just got inside, and he starts banging pots and pans, and suddenly Clancy sticks his head out, and he's like, joke's on you, I already finished. Now we have Native Americans crawling on their bellies towards the town site, and the guard, of course, is sleeping. The Native Americans shoot a flaming arrow at the newlyweds' wagon as Clancy and his deflowered bride hop out. Did he just take a bullet to the back, like Clancy? Or did she get shot? Twice in one day? It's an all-out war as shirtless Boone leads the charge. His men beg to bust some heads, and Boone goes, hey, bust away, let's go. It's an all-out brawl. Boone's kid, like his toddler, like shoots a Native American right off his horse, hits him in the head. That's fine. Clancy is okay, No, he's okay. And he wrestles a Native American to the ground. Another Native American nabs Boone's kid. That's dark. Maybelle is hurt. Boone hops over the fence like a dancer. Can't stop watching this. The Native Americans took our son, Boone. Hee. Boone's feeling fabulous. They all warn Boone he's outnumbered, but he grabs his trusty boomstick, raises it above his head, and he says to his wife, "Don't worry your pretty little head, sweet. I'm all man. I got this." And Rebecca immediately orgasms against her will, and he rides off. Boone and the guy sneak up on the tribe that attacked them, and they see the Native Americans washing off their face paint because they apparently don't want the chief to find out that they broke the truce this morning and attacked Boone's camp and they kidnapped the kid. Although I'm sure the chief will suspect they kidnapped the kid when he sees the kidnapped kid. Boone and his buddy keep going and they find the entire tribe, and Boone is like, you better go talk to them instead of me. And his number 2 comes out all shaky and totally narks them all out to the chief. He's like, they had war paint on, they attacked the village, and they took the Boone boy. They argue, and the chief sends him back to Boone and tells him if he wants his kid back alive, he has to go back, take all his men, and just get out of Kentucky. Just then, Boone and his sidekick, as they're discussing what to do, they see the little Blackbird's boy walking through the forest. And so they kidnap him, and Boone says, an eye for an eye, a son for a son. Like, these dicks. Boone is fixing to give them some of their own medicine. Boone comes walking out of the woods like Mr. McMahon. The mean Native American says, look, he comes crawling back for his son. And Boone says, it was you that came crawling through the grass to attack women and children this morning. Oof. Boone struts like the cock of the walk. Boone says, hey, guess what? I have your son now. And that jerk Native American asks Boone, is this another one of your tricks? Was Daniel Boone famous for tricks? Anyway, both parties agree to swap the boys. Boone asks if he could safely return to his camp without getting an arrow in the back, and the chief does the whole, if Boone is to return to the trading post, it is his safety that will be promised. If he returns to the Carolines and continues on the path to the unknown, his safety cannot be guaranteed. You can tell Boone just stopped listening about halfway through. When the chief finally finishes, Boone just goes, that answer's good enough for me. And he takes his boy and they balance the bad Native American Crow Feather. Sneaks into Boone's camp and he starts hacking at the sleeping bags with his axe. Terrifying, but it was a trick. Boone set him up and he attacks him from behind, and they fight and they roll and they end up in the river. And this is actually a really good fight sequence for its time. But of course, Boone ends up beating that ass. He takes Crow Feather back to the chief, and the chief is like, this guy sucks, Boone. I'm sorry, but can you just like leave Kentucky? Let's shake on it and we'll have peace. And Boone leaves him hang and he's like, nah, I ain't leaving Kentucky. It's big enough for all of us. They get back to camp, and just different times, you know? Like horrible. This scene right here just made my ears bleed. Listen to this.
Oh, James. You look like an Indian.
I am an Indian, almost. My name's Shadowa.
Lawyer.
What a fitting way to end the August of Boone.
That's what I think about.
What do you think?
What we have is a concern about Curtis Anderson. His interviewing style is not the best. His personal appearance is not the best. I was wondering if the man has some kind of a hold over the channel that he's allowed to be employed for so long with the standards of journalism and personal appearance that he has. Thank you.
Okay, Macy.
I'm still Jenny from the block.